Okay. Oh, that seems a little bit fat. Can I make you thinner? What happens if I move you across like that? Does that move you at all? It moves you up and down. Doesn't move you across. Okay, well, you're just gonna get squished in a little bit. How are you doing, boys? How are we doing? I'm going to be hanging around here for about an hour or so, just over an hour, and then I've got to take off. But I am open to trading. Obviously, we'll see what happens at the open. We're going to have a fair gap down, obviously, because we've had some recent news with Canada and tariffs and such. So there is that to worry about. But we'll see. I have no real... I don't have many levels to go off where we are right now, apart from daily levels. We have... So, let's break down the daily chart. We have this daily fair value gap that we're in right now, which is extended because of the bodies not being connected, so we've just reached into that. I really like... Wait a minute, do I have... I don't. Haha. So I can get gone. And we have these relative equal lows on NQ down here. That's as far as I would want to see NQ come down. Seasonally, we do have a slight move down, so I was kind of anticipating we'd get that going into this first week of August. If you are aware of the seasonal tendencies, the first week of August, or going into August, we can expect a slight retracement before we continue bullish. So while this is aggressive because Trump and things, it's nothing that's like you can't expect. What's up, Sadiq? I wouldn't be looking for a TGIF today. No, not in my opinion. And that's mainly because we haven't had a very directional week. It's been more of a Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday consolidation. Thursday reversal, go all the way to the other end of the week. That's not a week I'd like to look for a TGIF. And we haven't really hit... We've hit this daily fair value gap, but for me, the target is these relative equal lows on NQ. For a TGIF, I like to have literally like Monday open, like Monday, Tuesday, make the low of the week, and then it just runs into Friday, and then hits something significant like at the end of Thursday or early Friday. That's what I like to... That's when I like to look for TGIF. TGIF isn't like something I'd look for today. Maybe next week, potentially. But I'm short-term bearish to these lows basically. And on ES, on the daily chart on ES, we also have these daily equal lows here. So similar sort of thing to NQ basically. What I would expect over the next following days is something like a close down here, then an inversion of this fair value gap or this one. That one is also a possibility. So basically close below, come up, either retrace to this fair value gap and go for these lows if it's really bearish, or it can come up higher into this one and then continue bearish. And then once we're down there, we consider things like this daily fair value gap here, possibly. There's also that one there. And then on the weekly chart, we also have this. They're both part of just this larger weekly fair value gap that's all below that sell side liquidity. So for me, that is the high probability target. 6,235.5 on ES. And 22,779.75 on NQ. Mr. Coop. Who's this handsome young man in my chat is the real question. Mr. Coop. Good to see you, brother. Not heard from you in a while. Hope you're doing well. That's the only concern. I don't much about TGF. That's the kind of the basics that I've just splurted out there. Obviously, a lot of people, just through mass misinformation, a lot of people assume that TGIF is an every week thing. It's not. The criteria for it is that it hits some sort of target and there's been a directional week. That's like a basic criteria for it. And then you look for like a Tuesday afternoon, Friday afternoon, or end of Friday AM session really. Anytime in late Thursday or just Friday in general, look for a 20 to 30% retracement on the entire week's range. Not saying it couldn't happen this week, I'm just saying that I'm not looking for it personally. Taking a break from trading, locking back. Oh, that's a tough month to lock in for, if I'm being honest. Tough month. We have SMT at the, I'm being cautious with SMT at this NFP low. Time specific SMT. Don't think it's going to happen, unless it looks like it's going to take that out. And then that sell side on ES is there. Gems as always, Sadiq. Gems as always. Another Kai Capital stream, another ICT gem. The rest of the months until summer. As in, like, summer 2026? Or do you mean, like, until the end of summer this year? SMT is still there. I'm going into the open. This is going to be a heavy opening range gap. So expect continuation lower is what I would say. 329.75. Yeah, about 200. What's that? About 270 point opening range gap currently. So setting the stage for continuation lower, in my opinion, which doesn't really bode well for me. As far as like a 2022 entry, I wouldn't be opposed to. We do have red alert. We do have, I believe. Oh, why is my Forex Factory like reset? Oh, give me a minute. No, I don't want that one. Well, none of them, just USD. That's what I want. Yeah, we have 10 AM PMI numbers, so be very careful. We have 10 AM high impact and medium impact news. So really, I now am less. Maybe I'll get a trade, maybe. If I do, it's going to be like a 10 AM trade. Yeah, absolutely correct there, Sadiq. No retracement, doesn't demand it. If anything, it indicates or hints to that it's going to continue in the direction of the gap, so bearish in this case. And any retracement into the opening range gap, the high probability target is the 25% of it, not the 50% of it. But don't anticipate any retracement into it. That's right, yeah. Not going to trade heavy in August, just getting back into the habits. Yeah, pretty much into. Oh, nice. Okay, cool. Awesome. 125 handles is the sweet spot. Above that. Oh shit, we're opening in 30 seconds. I miss you too, Coop. Should do a stream week when you're on the Discord call. Yeah, I'd be open to that. Maybe in like September. I can't really do that, I don't think, because I'm literally ending this stream right now and then heading to the airport to pop off to Spain for like 3 weeks. But maybe first week of September we can do that. A little Discord voice call. Welcome, Mr. Dompey. 5 minute busy putting up 5 bodies holding. There's naughty 9. I'm on the 1 minute chart on NQ. This one. SMT is still there at the lows, which is interesting. Now we've opened. I didn't even realise. So we opened there. So that's what, like oh, it's not that big. I mean, it's still big, but it's not as big as it was looking to be. How big is it? Why am I measuring it with a fib? I'm trying to find out how big it is and not measuring with a ruler. 240. So yeah, continuation in the direction of the gap still is my idea. I'm gonna put a dash line at the 25% of the opening range gap. 148. I'll put a white dash line there, just because if I do want to go long, that'll be my high probability target. Slightly. Yeah, I'm gonna click off OBS, apparently, is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna be leaning towards an Eval trade today, not an XFA trade. I don't like the idea of XFA and anything in this, unless, I mean, so obviously, like, again, another, you know what? putting it on screen again. Putting it on screen. 10 a.m. news. Red. Black. Just stands out more. And then anchor that. We could get to those lows today, to be fair. Oh, NQ is a fair bit further away. But, like, what's that? 250 points? That's nothing for an AM session with 2 heavy news drivers. NFP and then a 10 AM high impact news driver. That is and with such a heavy opening range gap. For the entire day, that is absolutely reachable. So if it really wants to, it could get down there. I would prefer it not to be honest. Simply because I probably won't get an entry on it, but... That's potential first presented there on ES. Do. Yeah, okay, so that's first presented in ES. Over to NQ and, or not NQ, let's hop over to ES and draw that across. I need to get rid of this. It doesn't let you write stuff on the right side of the screen on Project X. A bit annoying. Oh, are you in this, Dumpy? Also, look at, I didn't even realise, how we, like, inverted the daily, that's a daily fair value gap, and we stopped right at the midpoint at the open and then sold off. Pretty cool. Same thing there, that happened overnight. NQ, less so. It did respect it overnight in London. And pretty much respected the high, couldn't even reach up to the high, but... I wonder if we'll even get a first presented tap today, or if it's just going to melt off. I am going to be tempted if this comes into the first presented. I will honestly be tempted to just short it and see if I can just ride out a short today. On an Eval. Just go short like 1 mini on ES. Like if I got in somewhere around here, what's that risk? Oh, it's pretty heavy risk. Like that's $500 risk right there. Right in this fair value gap, which it could easily tap up into if it wanted to. I'll try my 15-second little scalp model thing. But the closer it gets to this 10 AM news driver, the closer or the more likely I am just to wait until that and then go in after it. Which I probably will not do at all on my XFAs because I don't want the stress of having to be out of a trade before I have to leave to go catch a flight, and that's a stress that I'm just not going to want to deal with. NQ's about to hit a old new week opening gap. I will toggle them on here actually. Am I toggling on ES? Yeah. There we go. So we have 2 new week opening gaps here. 6th of July, they're labelled obviously. So you can tell which one's which. They're like 2 overlapping ones. So not a bad area for it to stall in here. Instead of just a straight drop through this area, it makes sense for it to do a bit more of a bang around in this area. We still don't have a first presented on NQ. ES is about to tap into its one though, so let's pop our eyes over to the 15-second chart. And look for a 15-second 2022 model. I don't mind shorting this on an Eval before the news. I'll just go break even. I'll either if I'm in profit, I'll just go to break even when the news is like about to hit. And if I'm not in profit, then I'll probably just get stopped out. You know what I do like actually? The fact that this is gonna, so look at ES, that white box. The big white box is the daily fair value gap. So the first presented on ES is literally like just below the low of that daily fair value gap. So that's a pretty solid area for it to bounce from. The first presented of the AM session and the low of that old daily fair value gap. So maybe I can get a short in this on the Eval. That'd be nice. And then we have the added factor of NQ having that new week opening gap down there. Just need it to actually get up to the first presented. That'd be nice. Doom, 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 doom. I also, yesterday, even though I wasn't streaming, I did put out that video of the trade that I caught on the PM of Tuesday, which was by far my best trade of this week, if not my best trade of this year, if not my best trade ever. I just didn't risk very heavy on it because I'm in the mindset of like just taking 1 mini on my eval. I took 1 mini on ES on that eval, but it was only like $100 risk. I was expecting it to be like at least $250. If this just doesn't retrace at all, I probably won't catch anything. There's NQ hitting the high of that new week opening gap from the start of July. I am thinking that NQ is the one to short though today, to be honest. And this is NQ's first presented. This is a first presented, but I don't really like it because it's overlapping with this body. I prefer this one. I don't even really like that one, to be completely honest. But we'll see. Melting, melting, melting. So, Sadiq, I'm pretty sure it was you that asked a while back, what a large range day, like how to actually determine a large range day. Today's a large range day. Saying that, we did move a fair bit yesterday. We moved 550 points yesterday. But today we've already moved 400, and it's 13 minutes into the AM session. So, 22,802 is what I'm aiming for-ish. Yeah, I like that. There is a daily low down there on NQ for the 14th of July daily low. Yeah, very realistic sample. Oh yeah, I like these equal lows as well for you, that 802 target, Dompy. I must wipe my Apex account on that retrace, leveraged higher for 1.0, almost passed it. TopStep X account took pre-market and locked it. Nice. I mean, these are the equal lows I've been calling out for a while. On that daily chart, I've been preying on these equal lows, and it looks like we might honestly get them today. And then below that we have this weekly fair value gap here. What would I'm gonna check this. I'm gonna use this as a dealing range. So that fair value gap there would be high probability. This is the first unfilled one though, so that's also a potential to reach down into. I'm going to have that one though as that's my high probability target, simply because it's the first one in a discount from, like, looking on the daily chart, obviously to identify dealing range, we want to identify, in this case, the low that has taken out a swing low. So this swing low, notice how between this swing low here and like the high of this run, there is no swing low that takes out a previous swing low. All these swing lows just keep printing higher, 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 higher. So this is your dealing range for the NQ daily, the daily charts. And take that range, split it in half. This is your first discount array on the daily chart. Then on the weekly, you could argue that you'd use that low to that high, but that's a pretty big retracement. I prefer to use a daily because weeklies are just like enormous. You don't have any trades on such days? Yeah, I mean this one's hard to get in on, to be honest. When it melts from this move started overnight at like 11:30 p.m. New York time, and just no retrace. These days happen, and you literally just can't get in on them a lot of the time, unless you're Dom P, of course. No retracement, no trade. Yeah, exactly, Sadiq. That's the way I go about it. 22,794.5 is 5 minute 2.5 that I look for. 794. Oh yeah, I mean that's what 14, 15 points away from my daily target. So I would say you're in the money, Dumpy. I wish I have just held to my final target. I had to get in now, like everything I say. Yeah, it is indeed hard to get in on this now. 10 AM news in 12.5 minutes, so I'm expecting that to offer any entry that I'm going to get. If that doesn't offer, if that just melts melts us towards these lows, then I will be quite content, to be honest, because like I've been calling these lows like for a while, so I'll be content just seeing them hit, like a nice little dopamine kick of like, he's still got it. But obviously it's a shame not to get in on this. Pretty difficult, like you say, though. Pretty difficult. Because like you had to wait for NFP to get released, really, and then unless you got short straight after NFP, and NFP shot down. So I bet a lot of people tried to short NFP like afterwards, and then just got knocked out, and then this real move began here. Actually, I didn't highlight the first post-news FVG, which would be this fair value up here. That would be the post-news fair value. Oh no, it wouldn't. It'd be that one. No, that one's crap actually, because it's in that overlapped thing. This would be first presented post news on ES. What does it look like on NQ? Just curious if it offered anything. So it'd be that same one there. It's offered something, just like an inversion play basically. I'm going to use this one as first presented today for NQ, to be honest, because I don't like those two upper ones, since they overlap with this down and up close candle. So one thing I've found with the first presenteds, you basically you kind of want them to be a breakaway gap in a sense. You want them to be breaking away from a range. You don't want them to be formed like in a range that's got like even one overlapping, like this overlapping down close and up close. You don't want a fair value up to form like to the right of that. You want it to be in a separate area. Either breaking away from that range or just nowhere near it completely. Yeah, limit for sure, Sadiq. I hate entering on a market order. Limit order, I have time. Obviously, like I can frame my risk much easier. That's one main thing. NFP is nothing, brother. It's like NFP is little son. Yeah, that's true. But like the fact that NFP is, it's like the fact that it even happened. It's it'll just have an effect on the day as a whole. But yeah, that NFP was underwhelming when the actual release. I've seen much wilder NFP candles. That's what I was like on the Tuesday PM session on P. I literally entered and then a few minutes later it just started melting. I was just like, oh, well, this is nice. It's always nice when a trade melts into my direction. $30, $25 more points for ES. And that's my target for ES hit. Maybe we will get TGIF, I don't know. You could look for it potentially in the PM, I just wouldn't be jumping at it. One thing I do want to do on this on these streams as well in the future is do like giveaways. One, just fun. Two, pretty good way to grow the channel. Or grow the stream audience, I guess. The channel is actually growing pretty nicely. I like to be on 500. I set a goal at the start of this week to be on 550 subs by today. And we're on what? 564, so not a bad week for the Kai Capital channel. All thanks to you boys. Thank you is bouncing off the Anuvik opening up here. I really hope that this news doesn't just send us down to the 10 AM low. And my chair is far back. God damn, I only just realised. That's better. So yeah. If we get that, I'm just wondering how long to sit around if I don't get anything. Because like honestly, if I can get away earlier, I will today, just because it'll help me a little bit. Cause like I was gonna end the stream at 10:30, literally grab my bag that's behind me on my bed right over there. Nope, I can't point it right there. Oh, watching yourself back on there it is. Watching yourself back on a camera and trying to coordinate your limbs doesn't work. Oh, nice, Sadiq. This week, nice. Very, very difficult week to pass an eval. You are definitely in the minority. I can almost guarantee you that a lot of prop firms have made a lot of money from people failing evals this week, so you've done a mint job passing one. Not a need to get setups for easygoing next week and coming Wolf. Yeah, for sure. I would say for one thing, don't try and push. I mean, if you risk well, you won't blow the account anyway in this 1 month, but August typically for index futures is typically the hardest month of the year, so just give yourself that. Give yourself the, what's the phrase I'm looking for here? Allow yourself the, I'm thinking of a word and I can't get it out of my head. It's in there somewhere. Give yourself the allowance, basically, to, like, not... I don't know what your model is, but... give yourself the allowance to be wrong more, just in August specifically, I would say. Summer months, honestly, summer months must be the most profitable months for prop firms. Just under 5 micros, yeah, okay. Passed out on Tuesday, nice, yeah. Tuesday was a good day this week. Typical for NFP and FOMC weeks, really. Monday, Tuesday. I don't think Monday was great this week, but Tuesday was. That PM session as well. Woo. I would have passed my eval on that Tuesday if I'd have risked more. Four minutes until news. If you heard it from me, that just means you're hearing it from ICT again. I'm just a parrot of... I am actually ICT's son, so it makes sense. I'm ICT's long lost son. I'm the son he never knew he had. That's a joke. Although that would be one way to blow up, just keep claiming I'm ICT's son. That's most of the reason Tanya blew up, because she reminded ICT of his daughter. What's your plan for getting payouts and staying consistent on and not blowing accounts? Caleb must be disguised. Yeah, he is. Plan for getting payouts, staying consistent. Well, just follow my model. Don't over leverage. Don't risk anything. It's like stay within my risk, which is in that video I did. Not the most recent video. The video before that. That's like everything I follow as far as risk, and then just following my model, which my XFAs is my 2022. ICT's 2022 model, my bread and butter model. You know that model like the back of my hand. And then for the eval, with Bulenox, I'm doing something like a slightly different model, just with the first presented fair value gap. Neither of them are getting entries today. News in a minute and 30 seconds. What do we reckon? Do we reckon it's going to just melt us to the lows, or do we reckon it's going to, like, give us a retrace? I wouldn't mind a retrace, honestly, because then I can target those lows next week. What news do we have next week? Do we have, like, CPI? That's normally follows NFP, right? We have PMI. Oh, no, we have a pretty news... light week, to be honest. Next week we have unemployment claims and we have PMI. So Tuesday and Thursday will be the days that I'll look to trade. Then the week after that is CPI. Oh, it's that weird week where we've got CPI on Tuesday, then for some reason a break, and then PPI Thursday. Oh, that's a pain in the ass of a week. And then, where's the week that I come back from Spain? Pretty news light. August is pretty news light week. News light month. Oh, that's going to be an interesting week, the first week of September. We have a bank holiday on a Monday and NFP later in the week, so very interesting week there. That's a very rare week where you actually want to trade in the latter half of the week on an NFP week as news. Titanium news thinking it gone now. Oh, god damn, did you hear that crack on the camera? Oh, I apologize for anyone that doesn't like neck cracks. That was gruesome. News dumping too, not a cup of tea? Yeah, not at all. I'm probably going to take off fairly early. There's no point in me trying to sit here and, like, I'm not trading this. Like, how can I trade this? I can't get in on it. It's literally opened and just sank. To my target though, which is nice. Daily target hit, and then we have this daily fair value gap down there. Thank you. Bum ba dum. Nice, Dumpy. $300 from passing this stupid gambling Apex account. Well, that buy side liquidity target can get gone. What day? How many points move now? We're about now 550, so we're now in the range of yesterday and 30 minutes into the day. Yeah, I mean, going into next week, I'm going to be looking for these two daily fair value gaps, to be honest. $72, $25, $79, so to there. They're my 2 points of interest going into next week. Very, very large range. This will carry over to Monday, so be cautious on Monday. I feel like Monday we don't have a reason to trade next week anyway, right? As far as economic calendar. But yeah, no news and no reason to trade Monday, yeah, so I'm not even going to look at the charts on Monday next week. My stream schedule is going to be different as I go in when I go to Spain, just because I don't want to be streaming every single day when I'm there. I'm going to focus more on trying to get a few videos out and maybe like 2 streams a week, maybe. Probably just whatever days that I'm really trying to trade. I'll stream them. So like next week, that will be Tuesday and Thursday, I'm pretty sure. Let me just take one look. Yeah, Tuesday, Thursday, yeah. I'll probably just have a quick look at it on Wednesday, but probably won't stream, but I will stream Tuesday, Thursday next week. And it'll be, I don't even know if I'll have a face cam, to be honest, for the streams. So they're going to be much more like straight to the point, just me, literally just me trading. Did it just match the lows there on NQ? It's stopped like, what, 20 points away from them. ES hasn't taken them yet. They're getting taken, don't... You can count on that. I just had a... You see that rectangle that was there on ES then? There was like... That was a first presented from God knows when. I should end up having random boxes on ES. I bet there's some on NQ as well. Yeah, look all them rectangles. That's the one from today. I didn't draw it. So I have got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days worth of random first presenteds somewhere on that chart. Yeah, that's the way you want to be, Sadiq, for sure. Pass the eval fast. And then just smoke one massive joint after you pass the eval and you go into the the XFA or the master account, whatever prop firm you're using. Do. Nice of it to stop before the lows. Retrace, please. Funded next futures. I have looked at them, actually. I have looked at them. I do like them. I'll potentially be affiliated with them in the future. I like the whole, like, it's an eval, but you pay a one-time fee. That is funded next, right? Yeah, it is. Funded next futures. I do like them. Yeah, it is the one I was thinking of. I'm planning on buying one. Yeah, I would support them. One-time fee, no activation fee. It's, yeah. I have looked at them a little bit and I like what I see. They also have, if you request a payout and you don't get it within 24 hours, they send you like an extra $1,000 or something, which is pretty cool. Yeah, I would absolutely be affiliated with them in the future, to be honest. I think I might, did I apply? Oh, I think you have to, but you have to buy an account with them, I'm pretty sure. Or do you? Oh, that is not the one I was thinking of, or at least the affiliate thing. I'd honestly be open to being affiliated with them. I like them. They look cool. Let me just run through. I just want to do like one final check to make sure there's nothing in there that is like weird. But as far as all that stuff that I've just listed off goes, yeah, definitely a good thing, a good one to consider. Especially just because I mean the one-time fee is just such a good thing for evals. Saves you not having to stress about passing it in a certain amount of time. You can just take your time with it. What do they? I'm just looking now. End of day balance. We like that. Yeah, $99 one-time fee. 40% consistency is fine. That's nothing. Honestly, I'd potentially join you on buying one. If you buy the legacy one, yeah. If you buy the legacy challenge, not the profit target. That is one thing about that, though, I remember seeing. You have to make a certain amount of money, from what I remember, Sadiq, to get that reward of the performance bonus. From what if I remember correctly. It's cool that you don't need a buffer, though. I mean, you still want to build one, because... So that's not really... It's like it's cool, but it's you don't... You still want to build a buffer, otherwise you'll lose the account pretty fast. Oh, and the profit target's nicer on the... That's a 1-to-1 50k account. It's like to a drawdown to passing ratio. On the legacy, on the rapid, it's not that good, but it's like normal on the rapid. On the legacy, it's really good. Just $250 is quite a lot for a 50k account, but I suppose, like, you're not paying an activation fee, so you don't have to include the $140 from that. Yeah, that's absolutely a good option. 40% consistency is based on the payout cap or the... Sorry, wait there. I need to read that properly. 40% consistency is based on the payout cap or the jot of some trades I took when it applies on that. I'm confused by your question, Sadiq, sorry. But it'll be just whatever. 40% consistency will mean a single, yeah, it says right here, single day's profit cannot make up more than 40% of your total profit. And I'm assuming that'll be on both Eval and whatever they call their past account, funded account. Do you know what I want to start maybe doing is start honestly moving away from the whole Project X side of things, because you can't really copy trade across multiple firms. Whereas if you get Tradeify, you can, like what Tanya Trades does basically, trade through Ninja Trader, and then you can copy trade across prop firms. Is honestly something I would be open to like looking into. I made around 1k on that 1k. I should not have any trade that outperforms 1k. No, you can't. You can, but the total amount that you make. So if you make 1k in a trade, then if your profit target is $3,000 for the consistency rule, I can't do maths that fucking easily. 10% of that would be 300, 40% would be 1,200. So you wouldn't be able to make more than $1,200 to pass the account. And if you did, it's not like a rule break. It just means that you'll have to make more, so that you have to make enough money across trades so that no single trade exceeds 40% of your total profit, if that makes sense. Not an eval unfunded. Oh, okay. I'm assuming you mean that it isn't on eval, it's on the funded. Yeah, okay. We've almost retraced back to first presented. I don't know which one I'd go for though, rapid or the other thing. Legacy. Futures FAQs. I'm becoming a pro at looking through these FAQs. Oh yeah, no consistency rule on the rapid challenge. What about legacy? So on the there you go, Sadiq. Rapid is better. Now I wish to trade a 25k rapid. Yeah, they're fairly cheap as well. So, yeah, but yeah, there's no consistency on the rapid challenge. There is a consistency rule on the legacy challenge. So on the rapid one, you could literally just gamble it if you really wanted to, and just pass the account in one day. You can reach your profit target with profits earned in a single day or over multiple days. It's entirely up to your choice. Must achieve a fixed profit target. So that's, yeah, I knew that. No daily loss limit. Yeah, so if you wanted to, Sadiq, you could literally just gamble a 25k rapid until you passed it. But then what do you get for... What's your... I'm not familiar with 25k is like the numbers. You get a $1,500 profit target and a $1,250 max loss limit. So you could risk your entire account balance basically, and literally as long as you make like just over a 1-to-1 trade, you pass the account, and it costs you what? $60. So I mean, if you paid what, $180 and just gambled 3 of them, I'm willing to bet you'd pass one. %50 bonus will only be available when you make more than 10% of the account. Yep. That sounds familiar. And is it, if I'm right in thinking, that bonus is only available on the legacy accounts as well. It's not available on the rapid. Yeah, 15% bonus reward from the challenge phase. Yeah, I found what you've just read. Funded next traders are eligible for a 15% performance reward from the challenge phase, provided traders meet 10% growth targets in their funded next account. And it looks like that's only on the legacy challenge. God, Dom P, go away. We're talking about prop firms, not the actual charts, honestly. More breathing room for sure, for sure. On the legacy one, you get literally a 1-to-1 profit to risk ratio on the 25 and a 50k. Obviously they cost more though, but you also get that bonus performance thing. But you can't gamble it because there's a consistency rule on the... I need to do a video on these. I might get affiliated with these soon, honestly, and get and then I'll do a video because I like them. They look good. Well, potentially I might get one here, Sadiq, if this wants to continue down. I don't really like the time that it is, though. I'm kind of pressed for time, to be honest. So I'm kind of probably not going to take anything, to be honest. There's always next week. I'm not in any rush. I don't know if we're allowed to get verified by today, Sadiq. But if you're willing to wait, then absolutely. But I won't take it personally if you want to just get your account and use someone else's code to get you a nice little discount. But I am going to head off now, boys, just because I need to get moving, basically. Need to head to the airport, but I appreciate you boys coming and hanging out for this NFP session. I will look into that funded next city. You can probably end up getting affiliated with them, to be honest, because I do like them. But yeah, I'm gonna have to jump off now because I need to get going. But I appreciate you boys hanging out as always, and I will see you next week, Tuesday next week. So catch you boys.